Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses. Gang. Now this video is called
Welcome to Hood
He.
War Stories. In this episode, I'll be discussing the life of Santa Claus,
Wait,
Alberto
bro.
Von.
Okay. This is a reaction to he executed a organized criminal member every Christmas. The story of OG Santa Claus. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is because, yes, I've been doing videos to, reacting to the neighborhood Crips, which, again, I'm not a Crip. I'm not a Blood. Shout out to the GDs. I'm not a Biddy. I'm not a Vice Lord. I'm not a Lion King. I'm not a 2-6. Shout out to the 2-6. I have much love for people, in the 2-6. I'm not a Stone. Shout out to the Stone. But I'm just a regular person, for the most part. That's what they say. But this is just to keep it balanced. I'm gonna do videos about the neighborhood Crips, gangster Crips, the Bloods, the Pyrus. But let's get into it, man. The documentary of OG Santa Claus.
Welcome to Hood War Stories. In this episode, I'll be discussing the life of Santa Claus. Alberto Von Cotto, also known as Santa Claus, was a second-generation member of the Rollin neighborhood Bloods.
Okay.
During the 1950s and 60s, a gang called Blood Alley existed on Cordova Street, near where the Santa Monica Freeway is today. In the early 1970s, as Blood Alley began to fade away, the youths from this neighborhood continued the Blood identity. In 1971, they began with the name In Hood. They added the Rollin between 1975 and 1977. At some point between 1977 and 1979, they added Blood to their name. In the 70s, they had two main cliques, 25th and 27th Street. Originally being the Vermont Villain Boys, the 29th Street clique was formed on the south end of the neighborhood towards Jefferson. Santa Claus got initiated into the Rollin when he was only 16 years old. From the start, he was determined to display that he was the ultimate gangster and to position the Rollin to be a top blood neighborhood across LA County. As a teenager, his gangbanging was bold and came with no fear. At 17, Santa Claus would be flamed up wherever he went. Red house shoes, red rags, and chucks with red laces. On a few occasions, his open display would backfire on him. One day, Santa Claus went head up and fought 6'5" Deuce Hoovers outside the swimming pool at Expo Park. He got packed out, but it showcased how fearless and
You gonna fight around all them kids? Man. Expo Park for what?
online he was. It's no one Santa Claus hated more than the Harlem Crips, who were the 20s.
To go to USC and pick up some white girls. End up running into the to the enemies.
Lifelong foe and primary rival, located just south of them. His ill feelings and hatred toward the Harlems would be expressed on many occasions. Allegedly, Santa Claus deboed members of their gang so many times that he was the sole reason they began to start using guns. When gunplay came into effect, Santa Claus would pay a visit to a rival Crips home each Christmas and kill them. But this terror inflicted by Santa Claus was year-round, not just on Christmas. And it wasn't one-sided. One night in 1981, the Harlem Crips caught Santa Claus sipping walking home from his girlfriend's house. They got up on him and shot him at point-blank range. They left him in the alley thinking he was dead, but he survived and shocked his enemies 1 week later by walking down Exposition, which is in his enemy's territory, wearing a red rag over his head. As his reputation grew, his name became feared among hoods across South Central. By the mid-80s, Santa Claus was a respected OG and a shot caller who was directing play calls. At that point, the war with the Harlem 30s was ongoing and only seemed to be intensifying. Santa Claus thought it would be a good strategy to change war tactics. At that time, the Rollin 30's closest ally was the Rollin 60 Crips. During the mid-80s, plenty of Crip factions were clicking up due to the rising Crip-on-Crip violence. Under Santa Claus's leadership, the 20s decided to conduct a kill mission dressed in all blue. Their target location was the intersection of Dinker and Jefferson Boulevard, a Rollin 30 stronghold, but a location that was openly visible. As the 20s approached Dinker, they spotted a group of Harlem 30s in clear view. The faces of the Harlem 30s were confused.
Niggas used to really dress like that back in the day. This man got the KRS-One special on, bro, drinking a 40. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I drink 40s too. I don't know what it is, but they just get you a little bit more drunker than a regular beer. But anyways, this is and what I do like about this, they're all dressed the same, but different. And this nigga's just randomly there. That nigga does not gangbang, or maybe he does, and he just doesn't want to dress like that, cause it is what it is. But yeah, man, my eyes on the edibles kicking in. The edibles kicking in.
One of the
That nigga had that nigga has a tail growing. I used to want to have a tail. My mom would never let me grow a tail.
group of Harlem 30s in clear view. The faces of the Harlem 30s were confused. One of the 20s then yelled out, "West Side 60 Crib." The 20s then began to let off numerous shots in rapid succession. As the third target was shot and dropped, the 20s sped away and returned to their safe haven. Mission accomplished. Casualties on both sides continued. In the early 1980s, the Rollin 20 Bloods had 3 cliques: 25th Street, 27th Street, and 29th Street. The Harlem 30s also had 3 cliques at that time: the Dinkers, the Avenues, and the 39th Street faction. At that time, Santa Claus and OG Head were key in expanding the Rollin 20s by securing turf by enlisting the 2nd Avenue gangsters to become a part of the Rollin 20 Bloods. The avenues were named for the streets between Arlington and Crenshaw Boulevard. The Rollin 30s and the Rollin 60s also had cliques of the same name at that time. In 1985, Santa Claus called a hood meeting for all cliques at Lauren Miller Park to officially establish that the 2nd Avenues are a legitimate clique. The 2nd Avenues arrived shortly after, and everyone began to celebrate. The 20s had now expanded to 4 cliques and were elevating their status as a premier blood gang in LA County. In doing so, the Rollin 20 Bloods expanded land area to having arguably the largest blood gang territory in Los Angeles. Their neighborhood not only covered the West Adams area from Vermont to Crenshaw, but now extended north passing Washington, Venice Boulevard, and Pico between Crenshaw and Western Avenue.
Damn.
But their celebration was being watched. Not long into the meeting, groups of Harlem Crips descended into their neighborhood and started attacking both sides of their park, boxing them in. Santa Claus immediately sprinted toward the east end of the park in an attempt to combat the attack. Once in range, Santa Claus extended his right arm and fired 3 shots at his enemies. 1 Crip down, Santa Claus fired 2 more shots.
Bro, that's what I do like about Hood War Stories. It's very animated. I'm not even subscribed to bro yet. This man is just such a good storyteller. These details, I don't know if he read the paperwork or the court documents or what have you, but even if this is a historical fiction, nigga, you doing your thing, bro. This is, whether you're telling the truth or whether you're not, nigga, you need to come out with a hood stories, come out with some animated series or something like that, or get some real people. Because how you tell these stories, very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very, I like it. I'm fucking with it.
The Crip down, the Harlem's attack had backfired on them. They picked the injured homies up and threw them in the car.
Is that Lil House phone?
Down, the Harlem's attack had...
That is Lil House phone and AD. That's crazy. We got Lil House phone. I thought he was from, and that's AD. I thought, man.
backfired on them. They picked the injured homies up and threw them in the car and quickly sped away. As the South End war front heightened against the Harlem Crips, the 27th, 25th, and 29th Street clique launched attacks that extended beyond their enemy's main base of operation.
The beach?
Several Crip factions began to click up to slow down the 20s' offensive attacks. On the west side, the Harlems clicked up with the 60s, and in the deep west, the Harlem 30s could be seen kicking it with the Showline Crips at Venice Beach. So one day, Santa Claus ordered a few carloads of 20 members to slide into Showline territory in hopes of finding some Rollin 30s. When they arrived, their hopes came into fruition as they spotted Harlem 30s on the Venice boardwalk. Both equal in numbers.
Nigga, that's like 30 minutes away in the car, bro. What? But when was this, in the 80s or 90s? I'm not gonna be like, what you want me to do? What? And you want me to get, how much you gonna give me for bond? You want me to go and hurt these people 30 minutes away from the crib because you think they're hanging out at the beach? No, nigga, no. That was, but hey, at least they, I'm not saying that I wanted them people to get hurt, but I'm saying at least these guys accomplished their goals because that doesn't seem like a good idea. But hey, what do I know? That's why I'm not the best of the best of the best.
Collision escalated into a large-scale gang fight. Law enforcement arrived deep shortly after,
Yeah,
and many
in
were
Santa Monica or Venice, yeah, at the
arrested
beach.
from both sides that day. Meanwhile, back on the home front, the 20s struck back at the Harlem 30s on a personal level. Both sides knew each other by
Nigga, how many? So you sent these people to attack some people at the beach. They all got arrested, probably. And then you went to do something again that day? This man is or I don't know if he's still alive. RIP to him if he's not. This guy is ruthless. This dude is a motherfucker, bro. I kind of, let me just watch the finish.
names and knew where each other lived. Santa Claus started to target the home tactic, and many homes were hit, including the home of a high-ranking OG from Harlem. One night, the OG threw a party for his Harlem homies. As the party was going, Santa Claus bust down the door and began shooting at everyone in the party.
Damn.
Multiple Harlem members wound up dead that night. Word began to spread quickly of Santa Claus's actions, and people were beginning to think he was untouchable. Santa Claus would spend a good portion of the next 7 years in prison. Santa Claus was released from prison in 1992. As a welcome home gift, members of the 20s laced him up with plenty of dope and cash. Shortly after being fresh out, Santa Claus took command of the war campaign against the Schoolyard Crips. The Schoolyard Crips were the 20s' hated enemy to the west. Skirmishes on their border of Crenshaw.
Wait, what? LA is so fucked up. Bro, I've been to all of these different places that I've been doing reports on these videos or reactions, not reports, reactions on these videos, and I didn't even know it was that dangerous where I was. I thought everything, cause y'all gotta start leaving beer bottles and cans and start burning down some houses so I know I'm in the hood. I'm not saying that any of these places are nice. I'm just saying I've been to a few of these places and I didn't even know that I was in danger. And all I had was a knife. I had a knife and I had a little bit of amethyst in my pocket. Just coming over there, okay, I got some steel-toe boots, but that's not enough. I'm just walking around. It's a nice day, hi. You wouldn't happen to know when the next bus is gonna come. Okay, all right, you have a good day. Like, bro, and I'm just walking around naked, just dumb. All these times I've been drunk, high, took an edible, and it kicked in a little faster than I planned it on kicking in. Come on, bro. But hey, one time I got lost in the Hoovers. Oh, that was horrible. That was horrible. And my phone was only on 52%. No, shout out to everybody in LA. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody's gang or anything like that. One time I accidentally went to Compton too. That's the whole different story. But Uber, not paying attention. And I looked up. I was like, is this a joke? And I was high as hell. I was like, welcome to the city. Oh damn. He was like, you want to get out right here? No, you have to get up because I have another ride. I was like, sir, just wait right here. And then I could order it. And he was like, no, there's another one. I'm already 5 minutes. I was like, but anyways, I forgot what I was saying. Let's finish this video strong.
The Schoolyard Crips were the 20s' hated enemy to the west. Skirmishes on their border of Crenshaw occurred frequently. During that time, Santa Claus found a girlfriend on Bronson Avenue. She mirrored his gangster ways, selling dope out of her one-bedroom apartment and carrying a pair of twin .380 chrome pistols. But on January 13th, 1993, the gang world was shocked when they discovered Santa Claus had been murdered. The 20s instantly pointed the finger at the Schoolyard Crips.
Wait a minute, nigga. You gave all these wonderful magic school bus ass details, but you couldn't even tell the details of how he met his demise? You just gonna brush past it? Come on, man.
Discovered Santa Claus had been murdered. The 20s,
What they do, put kryptonite in the nigga's back pocket or something? Damn. Sound like he was Superman.
The gang world was shocked when they discovered Santa Claus had been murdered. The 20s instantly pointed the finger at the Schoolyard Crips. By nightfall, All cliques of the Rollin twins gathered at the headquarters, Lauren Miller Park, to discuss a revenge plan. That night, 5 Crip hoods were all hit simultaneously.
Damn.
The Harlem Crips, the Schoolyard Crips, the West Boulevard Crips, the Rollin 40 Crips, and the 5-5 Neighborhood Crips. The message was sent clear that night that the Rollin 20s went in blood. The Harlem Crips and the Schoolyard Crips immediately struck back. The following night, the 20s ventured into the heart of the schoolyards and shot down 3 members, one of which was high-ranking. After 2 weeks of intense warfare, the Schoolyard Crips are ready.
He was the one. They went crazy. They was Santa Claus crazy, bro. Yeah, I'm not saying, look, peep this. I'm not saying that anybody should gangbang, because that's not what I did with my life. And I don't admire that either. I'm just saying, bro, just don't be a send-off. Excuse me, don't be a dummy if you're gonna gangbang. If you're gonna gangbang, if something should happen to you, this is what should happen. That's exactly, if something were to do, that's how when I was doing whatever I was doing, I was like, bro, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. And they was like, bro, it's not about what you don't want to do, bro. And they was like, what you think is something bad gonna happen to you? I was like, nigga, yeah. They were like, if something happened to you, bro, we gonna ride for you, bro. And the other dude was like, yeah, I'm gonna ride for you too. I was like, for real? Y'all gonna ride for me? You're gonna make sure you're gonna avenge my. They were like, yeah. And I was like, all right, well, let's get it then, nigga. What you mean? See, that's all it is, bro. A lot of people, they just want to be recognized and acknowledged for what they do. But if anything should happen, bro, make sure that this is going to happen if you're going to do something important to you, that other people are going to acknowledge your greatness. Be so good at it that a lot of people have to remember it. I'll just say it like that, man. And shout out to everybody who got harmed in this situation. I'm not saying that, like I said, man, all those families, my condolences. I'm not a blood, I'm not a Crip. I'm just doing a reaction video. I don't have Bloods and Crips around me or anything like that. I'm just saying, as a warrior, this is how you should want to be remembered.
To call a truce and firmly denied their involvement in the Santa Claus murder. But the war against the Harlem Crips didn't stop, and the bodies began to pile up. The 20s also struck at the Rollin 40s hard in the corner of Vermont and Vernon. And the 5-5.
Damn, bro. I used to catch the bus there to go to work.
Neighborhood Crips got hit with a 50-shot Uzi.
It's pretty
During
bad.
the bloody aftermath of Santa Claus's death, the 20s wanted to show hoods across LA just how much muscle they had, and willed to declare war on 5 Crip hoods at the same time. When Santa Claus's killer was finally revealed, many were left shocked and confused.
Or was it somebody from? Oh well, they're throwing up the. I was gonna say, was it one of like the Bloodstones or some shit? Or?
Killer was not a gang member or even an affiliate, but a low-level weed dealer from Jamaica.
Damn, nigga, you got killed by the weed, man. That's ironic.
Gang member or even an affiliate, but a low-level weed dealer from Jamaica. Santa Claus supposedly robbed a Jamaican because he was pushing in his neighborhood. Young gunners canvassed the streets for nights on end searching for the killer, but he had disappeared, some believe out of state. The 20s' revenge was denied. Santa Claus left a reputation and legacy, and to this
Damn, nigga. How? So he got murked by a random non-affiliate. That was the feds. What you mean he got? No, bro. Nah, that's not true. He got just randomly. No, I don't believe that. You want me to believe? Wait a minute. So wait a minute. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. He got set up by a female, and the well, let's just watch it to the end.
Hey, Santa Claus goes down as one of the top 10 blood riders in LA history.
History. Wow. Well, I'm not hood war stories, but for you to say that out of maybe 250,000 bloods that's ever lived, for you to call him the top 10, that's pretty significant. Well, RIP to all of the gang members who have lost their lives since the inception of Crips as well as Bloods, Sereno 13s, as well as all of the rivals of all of these people. I don't have any favoritism. Again, I'm not from South California. I'm not from Los Angeles. I'm not from the West Coast at all. But this was very interesting. I learned a lot, and I have a very different respect for human life in general. And I hope you understand that I'm very sincere when I say these things. It's very crucial for my mental health and for my emotional development. You know that I watch these documentaries. Not only are they informative, they're entertaining, and they make me really want to learn about African history a little bit deeper. This is not African history. This is nigga history, but it's very similar, you know. So it is what it is. It's not what it's not, man. It's Aaron Moses. Black love. Black lighters matter. Mexican love. And yeah, I'm about to go. My bad. Nigga, wake up! What's wrong with you? Nigga, and with my sexy voice, with my black man, and nigga, shut your stupid dumbass up to end the video. Alright, peace, man. Kiss your mama. Listen to your dad. Peace.